Happy birthday, beautiful. Happy birthday. I am so happy for you, and I'm wishing you success, health, wealth, financial freedom, love, great friendships, and wonderful vacations. That's what I want for you for your birthday. Isn't that beautiful? And even if it's not your birthday, I'm still going to wish you a happy birthday because guess what? You are alive. You're listening to this podcast. So at some point this year, whether it's today or next week or next month or 8 months from now, you will have a birthday and it needs to be celebrated. It needs to be celebrated. So Save the Good Girl, we celebrate you. Happy birthday to you. And I'm actually releasing this episode on my actual birthday. Today is my birthday. So happy birthday to me and welcome to the podcast, everybody. My name is Erica E. It could be your first time listening. So welcome to your first luxury listening experience. This is the Save the Good Girl podcast. And today we are going to talk about birthdays. And some people have so many mixed reviews about birthdays. Some people celebrate their birthdays and they do it real big and it's wonderful. Some keep it low key and some don't do anything at all. So I wanted to do this episode and talk about certain things that I think about on my birthday, which is I usually reflect, I think about my lessons, and I think about what I want. So that's why I titled this episode Birthday Reflections, Lessons, and Projections, because that is really the trajectory that I go into. So let's get into this episode and we're going to talk about this and see how you can implement this too when you think about your birthday, because it's a blessing. We're alive. We're here. And we're going to start with some reflections of certain things that I reflected on in this past year and what do I want next? What do I want? Isn't it beautiful how we can manifest everything? What do I want next? Let's talk about it. So today is my actual birthday. I was born July 28th and I am a Leo. Leos are the best sign. I mean, I love all y'all signs, but Leos, we got that fire. We got that fire. But today is my actual birthday, and I was compelled to release this episode. Now, to be honest with you, I was thinking all right, let me just talk about something else, and then we'll go into some other topics because I do have so many wonderful topics that I cannot wait to share with you guys. But I was compelled to do a birthday episode. It was really, really in my heart. And I thought about what do I usually do on my birthday? What do I usually do? I am always reflecting on my birthday. I'm always reflecting about what I've learned, what I've experienced, what happened in a year, what lessons that I've learned, and essentially, what do I want? What do I want moving forward in my life? So I thought about it and I was like, what should I call this episode? And I'm like, birthday reflections, lessons, and projections, because I do feel like that's a really great trajectory to celebrate yourself. Now, have I done this all the time? No. So what I usually do is it's weird, but I usually have this sense of lack. So instead of me being excited for my birthday, I actually think about what I didn't do, what I don't currently have, where I thought my life would be, but I'm still not there. So sometimes my birthdays could make me really sad. And even though I'm celebrating with people and I'm excited and I'm present and I'm smiling and I'm blowing out the candles and I got my outfits and all these wonderful things. I'm celebrating with my friends and my family, and it's great. When I have that moment to myself where it's just me and me, I'm like, well, you still didn't do this, and you still don't have that, and you still didn't accomplish this. And I just don't want to do that this year. I don't want to do that this year. So I was so compelled to release this message because I don't know who this is going to help. Your birthday could have either passed or maybe it's today, like mine. Oh my God, if we have the same birthday, can you please let me know? Oh my God, that's so cute. Actually, no. I know four people or five that have the same birthday as me. It's amazing. It's amazing. But it could be your birthday, today, tomorrow, yesterday, next month, 8 months from now, whatever the case is. And I was like, I really think that we should look at our birthdays in a different way. And not only for me, but I really wanted to share that with everybody else and share it with my podcast. And I had this idea and I really wanted to talk about the reflections that I have realized this year, what I've been reflecting on, the lessons that I have learned and projections in terms of what do I want for my life? What is it that I'm looking to gain? What do I want to learn? How do I want to feel? So I've really been thinking about that. And I wanted to start with my reflections. So the definition of a reflection is serious thought or consideration. And I reflect a lot. I reflect a lot. Hence the podcast, hence me loving to journal, which I will do an episode about how to journal. Should be coming up very, very soon. So look out for that. But I reflect a lot. And I wanted to share with you guys some of my reflections of what I've learned this year. One of the first things was I did my first speaking engagement, and it was about imposter syndrome. And as I was preparing for that speech, I thought about how imposter syndrome makes you feel like you're fake. And what I thought about was when you feel fake, seek the truth. And the truth to me is God. I'm always going to start with Him. So, one of my reflections was how much God really loves us and cares for us even when we stray away, even when we don't talk to him, even when life is just a lot, he's always there. And this year, what I've been reflecting on was I feel God's love. I can't really explain it, but I just feel like he always sends people to help me or offer me advice, or it's just simple things, even people that I don't know. It's just always kind of like working. It's like they really want to assist me, and I don't take that for granted. I don't think it's just like, oh, because it's me. I think well, I know that that's God. He does that. Every time that, let's say, I'm going through a sad moment or I'm upset, somebody will call me. Hey, let's do this, let's do that. So I'm just like, why has this been happening? So I've been paying attention a lot to that. And I do feel like God, I've been seeking him more because whenever I feel fake, when I feel off, even with coming to this podcast, I had imposter syndrome. I just felt like I'm grieving, I'm sad. What value can I offer? I don't know what to say. I lost my voice. And I felt like that with that, but I prayed on it and I'm like, God, please help me. I have a vision for this and I want you to help me with that. So when I felt fake, I did seek the truth. That's one of the reflections that I had during this time as well with going through grief and going through healing. I went through a lot of comparison, anxiety, confusion, all of those things. And it's like, why am I comparing myself to anybody? I'm not living their life. They're not living my life. We are doing the best that we can with what we have, and their moment is their moment, and my moment will be my moment. So, why am I comparing myself to anybody? And then when you compare yourself to other people, all you do is slow down your progress of where exactly you need to be, because all you're doing is beating yourself up for what you haven't done, looking at somebody else. And it's like, why am I looking at you? Why do I have all this anxiety? Why am I so anxious? Where did this come from? So I've been really asking myself questions lately. Like, people say, oh, that's just who I am. I get it, but it's like, why? So now I'm really into the why. Why am I anxious? Why am I going through this? Where did this come from? Why do I feel confused? What's going on? So that has been on my mind, just kind of reflecting on that. And because I have been reflecting on it and thinking about it, I'm speaking about it out loud, and now I'm putting this into the surface. So it's something that I presently am aware of, and now I can really work on it. So I'm really proud of that. I'm really proud that I'm actually doing that because it helps me understand what I need to do and what I need to work on. Something else that I was reflecting on was me being around people, having fun with people, going to dinners, getting coffees, catching up, laughing, having things to look forward to, creating my pop experience. If you don't know what that is, check out the SOE, how to create a pop experience. But creating a pop experience, just really engaging with people and laughing and smiling again. I was really excited last year. I'll never forget. I bought a beautiful cover up. And the reason why that was significant for me is because I love fashion. I love dressing up. And when you're depressed, you're not dressing up, you're not into fat. Like I wasn't doing that. At least I wasn't doing it. So when I first bought that cover up, I was so hype. I was so hype. Like, oh my God, I'm coming back to myself. So that was big. I was reflecting on that, like me getting back into my fashion and dressing up and putting on lipstick and perfume and getting excited. By the way, y'all, if you are not doing so already, follow the Save the Good Girl Instagram page. I share a lot of wonderful tips on my stories, and it's just very refreshing content. Like, I like to do that with you guys here, and I also do that with my social media. Very refreshing content. Also, something else I was reflecting on was learning to let go of my perfectionist mindset. I am a very orderly person. I like to have things in order. I like to know what's going on, but I'm also learning about the beauty of the unknown. And for someone who's a type A personality, that was not easy for me. But learning to be okay with the unknown, learning to pivot faster, and learning to pivot with ease. So here's what I used to do. I would pivot with anxiety. Now, am I still pivoting with anxiety? A little bit. Like, a little bit. But I'm trying to learn how to pivot with ease. Oh, this didn't work out. Okay, let me do this. Oh, this didn't work out. This didn't do this. Now, granted, if I'm disappointed, I'm going to have a level of annoyance and aggravation and all of that. But what I'm trying to do is not sit with it. I don't want to sit with all of this anger and frustration. I really want to find a solution. Here's what I'll say though. I do feel like it is important to feel your feelings. So if I am annoyed, I'm going to be annoyed. Just because you're positive doesn't mean you don't have other emotions. Like, I will be annoyed. I will be frustrated. I will be, upset if I'm disappointed. That's a normal thing. What I wanted to reflect on and work on was okay, this didn't work out. You were mad, but you cannot be mad for a week. You cannot be mad for a month. You cannot be mad for a year. So it's just kind of like the timeliness of those emotions. I don't want that to sit with me. So I was reflecting on how I have gotten better. I'm not perfect, but I have gotten better with pivoting and moving in a direction that is smoother and less anxious. Because when I tell you I was anxious, another thing that I reflected on was I actually have names for my emotions. Before, when people would ask me, how am I? Even though I knew how I was feeling, I would always respond, I don't know. I just feel, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I would just always avoid it, brush it off. And I'm very proud that I'm actually able to dissect and explain and explore my feelings, and before I wasn't really doing that. So I was reflecting like, oh wow, like you actually are reflecting. And I take my time. Like, if I can't think about it right now, I think about like, well, why am I upset? Like, can I take accountability for something? Was I wrong in the situation? Can I look at it in a different way? Can I change my perspective on it? So I've been doing that a lot faster. Again, am I perfect? No. So, but it is something that I am aware of. I'm definitely aware of that. Something else that I've been reflecting on is how important it is for me to be around people that I love, and it just fills me up to be around great energy. And I was reflecting on that and the changes that sometimes may happen with the relationships that you have with people. But I love being around really great, inspiring energy. I was reflecting on me going to a lot of networking events, meeting a lot of wonderful women, wonderful people, learning from people, really putting myself out there, because last year I wasn't doing that. I was not putting myself out there. And I was reflecting on all the things that I've been doing, and also reflecting on me needing to celebrate myself more. So, in the latest SOE episode, we talked about how to celebrate yourself and how to celebrate others, because I know how it feels when you are excited about something and you share it and lackluster response. It's like, okay, that's nice. But I thought about like me celebrating myself, me acknowledging what I'm doing. I realized that this past year, I have been more present than I have ever been. I've been extremely present. So I can acknowledge, like, oh, Erica, you did this. You actually completed this. And I feel good. And I allowed myself to be in that emotion, to feel good, to feel proud, to share my excitement with the right people, right? To be in that space of accomplishment. Like, I accomplished this. I reflected on my organizational skills this year, and me, getting into a groove with me coming back with Save the Good Girl and wanting to come back. And I want this to sustain. I reflected on my why. I reflected on the amount of work it took for me to come back, the amount of work it took for me mentally, the many fights that I've been fighting that people may not know. and I was pushing forward, and I got the help that I needed in order for me to continue to keep going. I reflected on my family. I reflected on my father and how much I miss and love him, and that grieving is difficult, but I know that my dad would want me to live my life. I know that he would. I know that my dad wants me to be happy. I know that my dad wants me to live with joy and fulfillment. I know that's what he wants from me. So I'm at this place in my grief where I am still grieving. I'm still sad. I still miss my father every single day. I think about him all the time. But I'm at a place in my grief where I want to be happy. I want to have joy. I want to live my life. I'm grateful that God has given me another chance to be alive today, another chance to do something great in the world, another chance to inspire. Whenever I wake up, I'm like, oh, okay, God, you still got work for me to do. You still have work for me to do. So I'm just very grateful for that. And I want to live. And I'm so grateful for therapy. I'm so grateful for my friends and my family. I can't thank people enough for their contributions to me speaking again, for me finding my voice again, reminding me of who I am, you know? And now that I'm here talking to you, and I'm so grateful for the feedback that I have been receiving about the podcast, and it has been inspiring people, and I love that. And I love that. So I've been reflecting on, what if I didn't come back? What if I just continue to stay low and stay down? And I did allow myself to be down. I did, because I wanted to come back to you guys authentically available. I wanted to come back authentically available and ready with good energy. And I want my ideas to flow. I had no creative spark 2 years ago. None. There was no way for me to do episodes and social media and all these things. I couldn't do it. Now I'm at a place where creativity is flowing to me because I allowed creativity to be open. So I was reflecting on that. I was reflecting on being present with nature, how much I just enjoy looking at the trees. I've always been a tree like lover since I was like a little girl, but enjoying that. I reflected on the fact that I have not written a poem in over 14 years. And I wrote a poem this year to celebrate the pastor at my church and all the wonderful things he's done for the community. I reflected, I reflected on my journey, and I saw something that says, when I think, I think. When I think about all the things that I've been through, when I think about all the trials and tribulations, all the rough things that has happened in my life, and the fact that I'm here on this mic, all I can do is thank God and praise him, because there was a time where I did not think that was going to happen. Have you ever felt like that before? Have you ever felt like, I am not getting out of this? Like, it is what it is. Like, I'm not getting out. And that's exactly how I felt. We have a tendency to do that, and then we have to pull ourselves back. I was reflecting on, I was so focused on getting my head above water that I wasn't realizing that while I'm trying to get my head above water, even without me saying a word, other people are following the blueprint, that I am inspirational, that I am an influencer, and I don't take anything that I do for granted. I was reflecting on the life that I want. I was reflecting on, it's not too late. What is time? Right? So all of these thoughts have been going through my mind, and you guys are getting it fresh because it's my birthday. So I'm giving you guys all of this like fresh in my head and reflecting. And I think it's so important that you also take the time to reflect, really sit and be present and really think about all of the things you have accomplished. I know that you have accomplished something. I don't care how small it is. Really think about that. Really think about what you've done, your contributions, how you've helped somebody, your promotion, you're in love, you got a new house, you got a new car, you got a new pet. You just bought yourself a coffee yesterday just because you were able to afford something you couldn't. You're starting your own business. You just passed your test. You got a wonderful score on your test. You've been studying like crazy. You just became a doctor. You just became a lawyer. You just became whatever. You bought a new body wash. Do you know how hype I get for body butters, by the way? Reflect on that. You're perfect. Yes, you're perfect. I was trying to create fuse birthday and perfect. Your birthday is the perfect time for you to think about your new year. Whenever I think about my birthday, I think about Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Because there's more opportunities for me to get exactly what I want, but I cannot get it with a limited mindset. And this is where, guys, we're going to talk about some lessons that I've learned and that I think that could be of value to you as well, but some lessons that I think could be very helpful and beneficial. And some were tough lessons. I ain't going to lie. Some were tough, but it was really, really great lessons. And I really sat and thought about it. And I'm like, nah, I need to share this. Let's get into the lessons. If you could think about the amount of lessons you have learned this year so far, what would that number look like? It might be too many for you to even count because I feel like every experience that we have is a lesson for us, whether it's grief, joy, happiness, sadness, confusion, your career, your finances, like anything that we have gone through, betrayal, going through different things with friendships, your family, reliving traumas, going to therapy, anything that we do, even just people watching and going to the park, there could be a lesson in that. Watching animals, there could be a lesson in that. And a lesson is defined as an amount of teaching given at one time, a period of teaching or learning. It could also be defined as a piece of instruction. A life lesson is defined as a situation in which you learn something useful about how to live your life. And I was like, that is really, 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 really perfectly described because that's how I feel about the lessons that I've learned. And I'm going to share with you guys a couple of them. There's so many, but that could be like 25 episodes. We're not going to do that. So just going to share with you guys a couple of lessons that I have learned that you could also find useful as well. This is in no particular order. It's just me being vulnerable with you guys. And I wanted to share some of that with you. One of the things that I really have learned is that accomplishments have no age. Accomplishments have no age. Write it down, tweet it, tag me, Instagram, threads, whatever. Accomplishments have no age. So I saw this somewhere and I was like, this is very, very true. When you accomplish something, it is still going to feel good. It doesn't matter that you didn't do it when you were 18. If you did it at 48, congratulations. If you had a plan when you were 18 and you did it at 25, congratulations. It doesn't matter. You still had the opportunity to accomplish it and you still did it. Does it really matter? So that's something that I'm learning. And I think that sometimes we do restrict ourselves because we believe, and society makes us believe, that we need to do certain things at a certain age. Like, okay, now you're done with college, you need this big job. Now you're in the real world, or now you're done with high school, you have to go to college and figure this out. So it's always this kind of like timestamp, 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 right? I went to the third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, da da da. I'm learning this curriculum. After college, there is no curriculum, right? If you go to get your master's or PhD, whatever, cool. But once you start working and you're really adulting, there really isn't a curriculum except for the curriculum of life. What are we really holding it against, right? If you get your house in 5 years versus now, does it matter? Because once you get your house, that same feeling, that same emotion, that same excitement, guess what's not gonna, you're not gonna miss the excitement. That emotion is still gonna be there. So, one of the life lessons that I'm learning and I'm really trying to hold to me is that accomplishments has no age. I was watching something from this girl, her name is called Court Reezy, and she said, imperfect consistency is way better than perfect inconsistency. And she was referring to starting, getting something done, not worrying about being a perfectionist. I've learned that being a perfectionist and wanting things to be perfect has slowed me down tremendously. It also has limited me from being a risk taker. And I've learned that you need to take risk. You don't really know what's on the other side of fear. You don't know. I'm so focused on being this perfectionist and getting everything right that before you know it, you start overthinking about what you need to do and you keep thinking, thinking, thinking. And before you know it, it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, and then it's over. So being imperfectly consistent. I think it's a beautiful phrase. It's so strong because it just shows that you're trying. And I think that with trying comes evolution, and it comes with you becoming the expert. So I love that saying, and that's one of the lessons that I'm learning right now. Something else that I'm learning is the value of support. My God. I mean, I talked about this in the grief series, but support is valuable. Oh, I can't place nothing on it. There's nothing like having support from your friends, from your family, from your coworkers, whoever and whomever it is. Support is valuable. We need it. Like we need water. It's so important to us. It's so important to us. I've also learned the importance of vulnerability and being selective with who you are vulnerable with. So, friendships, as we know, as we get older, friendships will change. People change. People change. And when you are in the space of trying to understand your friends and your families and all of that stuff, you may or may not be aligned with the changes that people are making. You might outgrow people, and that can cause a little bit of confusion for you because you're thinking, if we're friends, if you're my friend, I'm going to share everything with you. That's how I used to be. I was very vulnerable with everybody, with everything. If you're my friend, I consider friendships to be very serious. I don't play when it comes to my friends. But what I've learned is that everybody has a different definition of what a friend is and how a friend should be. And for me, I have very high expectations for my friends because I love my friends and I value my friendships and I take them very seriously. But I've realized not everybody takes friendships that serious. They're okay with disregarding their friendships. They're okay with not communicating. And now, let me also make this clear. Life is lifing, right? When I was going through grief, I wasn't talking to my friends and etc. So I understand that sometimes life will kind of keep you away. But sometimes nothing's happening. Like, nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. The person just may not be interested or they have outgrown you. So it's just kind of like you cannot be vulnerable with everybody because when you do, it leads to very, very high disappointment because now I'm vulnerable with you and you don't care. And now I'm mad because I've just shared something so deep with you and there's no regard for that. So what I've learned is first was why am I mad? Number one, why am I mad? Okay, let's acknowledge why because now I'm really into that. And then number two, hey, this is a sign you cannot be vulnerable with this person. You cannot be vulnerable with everybody. That's a big lesson that I have learned a lot. I've also learned that trusting God feels really good. So good that you might question it. It feels really good to know that your life is in wonderful hands. It feels good to know that you are being protected, you are being supported, and that everything that's happening to you is working for your good. Now, that is a hard thing to comprehend because people go through some really difficult things, and I can't really explain all of that. But I will say that God is amazing. I love him so much. He's been there for me. He has held me. He has guided me. And he's also have guided everybody around me. And he's also guiding you. I love that we have access to him 24/7. I love that you don't have to have a special prayer to talk to him. You can talk to him. The way I'm talking to you guys in the podcast right now, this is exactly how I speak to God. I'm so serious. I also learned that it is so important to celebrate you and all of your accomplishments. And sometimes your accomplishments are not physical. Sometimes it's not about getting a house, getting a car, getting a job, falling in love. It's not tangible. We need to also celebrate things that are more emotional, the emotional progress that we are having. I shared something recently in therapy that I've been feeling, but I've never said it out loud. And I said it out loud, and I cannot tell you how free I felt. I can't explain to you how good it was because number one, I didn't know this was still bothering me. I didn't know. I mean, I felt it, but I didn't really talk about it. And then talking about it was freeing. And I feel like I'm actually healing from this. Like I feel better towards the situation. And I've learned that celebrating yourself, while it's great, listen, I'm down for a body butter. I am down for a spa. I am down for anything treating yourself. I am here for it. But we also need to acknowledge the emotional progress that we are making that also needs to be celebrated. I've learned that you need to give yourself grace. I am still learning that. I am still learning that you need to give yourself grace and that your best, whatever you consider your best to be, is very different every single day. Your best could be signing a big contract for $4 million, right? One day. Your best could be I woke up and I made my bed and I brushed my teeth and that's it. So it can vary. And I don't think that we should minimize it because if you're going through something and you were able to push through, that is a big deal. That is a big deal. I've learned that things may not go as planned. Life is unpredictable. Things may not go as planned. It's very frustrating and it's very annoying. I've learned that people are they're not as direct and unfortunately when people aren't direct it can also make things not go as planned. And the only thing we can really control, which I know you guys probably heard this, is ourselves and our reactions and how to pivot. I am learning to pivot. I am learning to pivot. Usually, when things go wrong, I am extremely highly stressed. So I am learning that things may not go the way you planned, but it could be better. In the moment, I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm not thinking about that, but I have an option. Can I try to make it better or am I gonna sulk? Because sulking doesn't work for me. I have things to do. It's not going to work. So things may not go as planned, and that's okay. And that is okay. I've learned that your call to action creates an unexpected blueprint for others. When you take steps to get better at whatever it is, people are watching you. You don't know that. You're not paying attention to that because you're just focused on yourself. But I've learned that you are influential, you are inspirational, and people are watching you and they're looking to you as a blueprint. Like, let me see how this person did it. When you're in the trenches, you're not going to feel that way because a lot of the times people don't tell you certain things while you're in it. It's when you're out and it's like, yo, I have noticed that you overcame this. What did you do? Can you help me with that? And that's big. That's really big. I have learned, and this is something I know, but I feel it more this year. Quality time is something that you need to take seriously. We have a limited amount of time on this earth. If your parent tells you go to the grocery store with me, go with them. If your friend is like, can you meet me for coffee? Go. Of course, do it with your time, but quality time is nothing to play with. If somebody's on your mind, call them. If you can make the opportunity to physically be with people, please do so. Take pictures. Take lots and lots of pictures of the most basic things that you do. It's not just the birthdays and look at my birthday dress, look at my sparkly dress, look at my tie, look at this. It's not just about the birthdays, right? It's about the simple things that you're doing. I took a picture of my mother in her garden because she has a garden and she's like planting her mint, she's planting her parsley. A random picture of her, a picture of her doing the most random things that she enjoys doing. It's not just when she's dolled up. I have a picture of my father just sitting in the couch. you know I have a picture of him watching his basketball games. Like, these pictures, guys, are monumental. Create your book, create your memory book, take lots and lots of pictures. And if you have the opportunity, please print them. One of my goals this year is to print out pictures to put in a photo album because everything is on my phone, like most people. But there's something special about touching a photo album and going through the memories. Like, it hits different. It hits different because when I go through my photo albums when I was a kid, it hits different. So take pictures, print them out, enjoy your quality time with everybody, enjoy those moments, celebrate your people, celebrate yourself, be there, get organized to be there. Find a way, find a way, find a way. You won't regret it. You will not regret it. I've learned that you really need to get to know who you are and why you do what you do. Because I used to be like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. But it's important to understand, like, wow, I really don't like when people do this. So I have come to realize, right? Something that I absolutely hate is when I'm being vulnerable and I'm being disregarded. It is extremely disrespectful. It's one of my pet peeves. I brought it up in therapy. I'm like, yo, is something wrong with me? Like, I be tight. And she said to me, no, there's not one person on this earth who would be vulnerable about something and they would be okay with someone ignoring them. Nobody would like that, right? So I've learned that I really don't like that. I've learned that I do not respect when I don't respect people who don't have a respect for my time. I don't like and appreciate when people can't tell me, okay, things have changed, this has canceled, whatever. Communicate with me. Let me know. Now, I know that sometimes things happen. I know that sometimes emergencies happen. I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying in general, right? So I'm learning about that. I'm learning that it is very important for me to be intentional with my days every single day. And when I'm not intentional, I've realized that I waste a lot more time and the time goes by extremely fast versus when I know that today I need to record, today I need to shoot a reel, today I need to call this person back, today I need to respond to this email, today I need to pay this bill. Like I need to do that. Being organized is vital. I'm learning that you cannot keep to-do lists in your head. I don't care how great you think your memory is, but finding an organizational method helps out a lot. Finding an organizational method helps out a lot. You cannot remember everything. And I've tried it. Then I forget things. Oh my God, did I call this person? Did I pay this bill? Now your credit is bad because you keep paying your bills late. Like, come on, right? So getting organized is vital. Getting organized is vital. I've also learned that I have adopted this method. It's called the it's okay method. When something doesn't go wrong, or if I want to encourage my success, I say, it's okay. You didn't do this now, but you'll do it now. It's okay. You didn't do this last week, but you're going to do this now. It's okay that this didn't work out. You'll be fine. It's okay that you're sad right now, but you'll be good in an hour. Like I have to do that. I'm soothing myself, according to my therapist. I'm soothing myself. And I find that when I tell myself it's okay, you know what I do? I minimize overthinking, I minimize anxiety, and now I have more space to be creative and get to action. Now I have more space to devise a plan because I told myself it's okay. I'm giving myself permission to move forward. And that I am not going to lie, y'all. I don't know what it is about this method, but it works. Try it. If there's a task you don't want to do, like laundry, for example, it's okay. I'm going to do my laundry right now, wash my clothes, dry my clothes. It's all good. Like, that's how I have to talk to myself. I consistently have to tell myself, it's okay. It is okay. I will get it done. It is okay that I'm sad right now. I'm not going to be sad forever. It is okay that I didn't get this particular task done today. I will do it tomorrow. Or I'll do it. Like, it's just more action based. And I've learned that that has really helped me. There's so many other lessons that I have learned. I'm sure there's many that you have learned, but I encourage you to think about that. We need to encourage our success, right? And the only way for us to do that is to reflect and really think about what these lessons are so that we can implement them daily. Because if you don't pay attention to it, how can you implement it? So I really want you guys to think about what are some lessons that you have learned? Good lessons, challenging lessons, exciting lessons. What are some things that you have learned that has contributed to you being more joyful, to you feeling good? What were those lessons like? I want you guys to really ponder and think about that. And now, in addition to me thinking about all of my lessons, now I'm like, well, what's next for Erica? What is next for me? What do I want out of this life? How can I properly get everything that I want? Can I get everything that I desire? Can I get it? I found that in the most recent years, I would pose that question a lot. Can I still get the life that I've always dreamed of? I remember when I was in high school and even going into college, I am a hopeless romantic. I am so positive. You couldn't tell me anything. It's going to work out, it's going to be fine. And as I've gotten older, I felt like that part of me has been dim, due to life experiences, expectations, disappointments, all of these things. And I would question, can I still get the life that I've always dreamed of? Is this all a part of the plan? Am I going to still enjoy everything that I've always wanted? And I do believe the answer is yes. It's hard because I do not think like this all the time and I want to. And I'm fighting. I'm fighting to get back to the Erica that was so, you couldn't tell me nothing. Like I was so convinced like things are going to be okay. With certain things that I've been through, it definitely put a little bit of a dampness to how I'm feeling, but it's not solid rock, which I love. It's not solid rock. We're still fighting. And I'm like, what do I want to project for my life? And a projection is defined as an estimate or forecast of a future situation or trend based on a study of present ones. So if I study my lessons, if I study my reflections, that would make sense for my projections, what I believe is going to happen in the future. I'm looking at what I've done. I'm studying how I'm improving. I'm studying how I'm handling things emotionally. I'm studying how I'm really seeking to get better. I'm studying that. I'm studying the shifting of my mindset. I'm studying the shifting of the conversations that I'm a part of. I'm studying the shifting of how I am around people, how people are around me. I'm studying the expectations that I have and what I want in my life and how things are shifting, that I want different things now. I'm paying attention to these things. And when I sit down and I think about what I don't have, that's just not a good feeling. And as I've shared before, there were some birthdays where I would have a phenomenal time. But when I'm in solitude, I am sad. I am crying. I thought I would have had this by now. I thought I would have done this by now. I thought I would have been here by now. Look at all these other people. They're doing all these things. What about me? Da, da, da. Why do I have to suffer with this? Why did I have to go through this? Why couldn't I have this and this and this and that? And it's like, this is what I used to do. And it would make me sad. And then it would rob me of the joy that I was given. Joy is very internal. It's solid. It stays with you. And I'm robbing myself of that because I'm thinking about what I don't have. And moving forward in this life, I have a couple of things that I need to project. There's a couple of things that I need to do based on the study that I've done. I really want to write things down. And I do journal. I do journal, but I really want to visualize my ideal, whatever it is, right? Let's say a vision for the podcast, a vision for my brand. What does that vision look like? I need to write it down. I need to write it down. And just recently, I was talking to my mentor, I was talking to my grief counselor, and they both were talking about the power of visualization, the power of your words. When I tell y'all, it is not a game. I forgot where I was going. I live in New York, and I was going somewhere where there's like no parking. Like the parking is horrible. And I'm like, God, I just need a parking right in the front. Do you know I got a parking right in the front? Like right in the front, like right there. So when I say things sometimes, even as a joke, it happens. So I encourage you guys, don't say things like, I'm gonna be single forever. I'm not gonna. If you say that, if you say that, that's what could possibly happen. So be mindful because even if you do get what you want, it might not be sustained. And I'm not about just manifesting. You know what I'm really about? I'm about, yes, I want to get these things, but I want it to be healthy and I want it to be sustained and I want it to grow. So, in addition to me writing these things that I want, I always pray for sustainability, growth, and maintenance because you can pray and ask for love. When you get it, are you going to be able to make it grow? Can you sustain it? How do you maintain that love? What are you going to do? Everything requires work. Even with me doing this podcast, I want my brand to grow, but how am I going to do that? How am I going to sustain it? How am I going to make it grow? How am I going to maintain it? So it's not just getting the thing. When you get whatever you're looking for, the house, for example, doesn't the house have to get cleaned? Don't you have to do some upkeep in the house and mow the grass and all these other things? Like there's responsibilities that comes with getting what you want. We need to ask for the courage and the strength to sustain that. So I'm really, what I need to do by the end of this year, and I already, oh, let me tell you what I did. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Okay. So I want to write letters to my future home, my future spouse, my career, everything. I went to Amazon and I got beautiful stationery, like beautiful envelopes and paper because I wanted to be luxurious. And my goal is to write letters as if I had everything already. Like I'm writing to my man, I'm writing to this house, I'm detailing what I have in this house, I'm detailing every single thing, my success with this podcast and my brand and blogging. I'm doing like writing everything. I haven't done it yet, but this is something that I am projected to do based on the success of my mental clarity. I feel like I'm doing a PowerPoint presentation. Based on my mental clarity, I am projecting to write a wonderful letter about my fabulous life, right? So, based off of that, I project that there will be success in my health, my mental, my physical, my spiritual, and emotional health. I project that it's going to be great. I project that there's going to be wonderful growth in Save the Good Girl and the Save the Good Girl brand. I project that I'm going to touch a lot of people. I project that people are going to communicate with me and let me know, and it's going to be phenomenal. I project that I am going to able to utilize my brand and make this my full-time position where I'm able to take care of myself financially and I get to do what I love. I get to do what I love. I get to go to more speaking engagements. I project that I will do my own event where I get to speak to people and really touch people. I project that I will have phenomenal brand partnerships, especially with TJ Maxx because I love TJ Maxx. I know out of all the companies I could have said, out of all the companies I could have said, your girl said TJ Maxx because TJ Maxx has been there for me when I was going through some rough times. They really have. They really, really have. So a brand partnership with TJ Maxx, I believe that and project that I am going to have a lot of growth with my viewers, my listeners. I believe that I will be in a wonderful place with my business. I believe that I'm also going to have a great social media following and I believe that my social media followers will be positive. I know, right? I know, but that's what I'm projecting. I'm projecting that anybody who listens to Save the Good Girl and follows me will be positive. Because we ain't got no time for no negativity over here. We just don't. We don't have time for it. Mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. I project that I am going to pivot and continue to pivot with ease and not with anxiety. I project that I'm going to consistently utilize my it's okay method whenever I am down, discouraged, or confused, or want to procrastinate. And I'm going to get these tasks done. I project that my friends and family will be healthy and they will also be successful. I project that anybody listening to this podcast will be successful as they're celebrating themselves and celebrating their birthdays. I project that I will continue to grow. I will continue to furnish and foster my friendships. I project that I am going to meet a phenomenal, beautiful, God fearing, wonderful, he can dress, great listener. Oh, I can go in, but I project I'm going to find the perfect man that's meant for me. I project that I'm going to be vulnerable with him. I project that I'm going to feel safe with him. I project that I can talk to him about anything. I project that I will be protected by him. I project that we will have a lot of great experiences together. I project he's going to be a great communicator. I project that my family and my friends will get along with him. I project we are going to build a home together. I project that he and I will grow our family and have children. Ooh, I'm going in. I'm going in. I'm going in. I am going in. But I project because now it's like I'm manifesting out loud. I project that we will be best friends. I project that we will be there and honor our vows. I project that I will get married. I project that it will be a beautiful wedding with all my friends and all my family, and my dress is going to be bomb. I project that he is going to also support my business. He is going to love Save the Good Girl. He's going to be so impressed. Like, Oh my God, that's my girl. That's my wife. Like, yeah, boo, it's me. It is me. Like, I'm yours and you're mine. I project we're going to have a lot of fun together. I project we're going to be in a healthy relationship. I project that we are going to love each other and understand each other, even with our flaws. I project we're not going to give up on each other. We're going to work through it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to get help if we need to. I project that my partner will be open. My man will be open. He will be open. He will talk to me. He will trust me. And I just project that it's going to be great. I do. I project, I deserve that. I deserve to be with somebody like that. I deserve that. I deserve that. I project that I'm going to continue to heal because healing, there is not a final destination for healing. Healing is something that you continue on because life will continue to have some difficulties and you are constantly healing. You are constantly in that space and you can be healed and healing at the same time. I don't think it stops. So I will continue to heal. I will continue to heal. I project that I will meet a man that has similar qualities like my father. I will. I will. I know that we're gonna get to some episodes about dating. We are. I know that dating is well. This right now, the topic of dating can be a little skewed right now. A lot of people have a lot of opinions. Unfortunately, a lot of people just get mics and they talk a lot of nonsense on their microphones and these airwaves, and it's like, what are y'all doing? But even with that, I project based on the history and what I've been studying and based on who I am as a person, and based on how much God loves me, and based on how much support I have, that I will meet this person. He's going to be great. And I project me doing so many great, like, couples trips. Oh, I can't wait to do that. My friend was like, girl, can you help me get your man so we could do a couples trip? Like, sis, I know. I know. Seriously. I'm waiting for that too. But think about all the things that I just said. And I need to re listen to my own podcast because I think this is good for me to hear it. I think this is good for me to hear it. Like, Erica, I know you've been through some things. I know you get annoyed sometimes. I know that you get frustrated sometimes, but you are loved. And you need to know that you are loved. You need to know and confirm that you have all the right people in your life right now, today. That the life that you have been dreaming of, you can still get it. It's yours to have. And you're going to have many more birthdays and you're going to experience this as your life progresses. So will your mindset, so will everybody around you. You are living in abundance. Do not live in a scarcity mindset. Don't do that to yourself. You've done it already. And has it worked? No, it has not worked for you. So let's do something different. Let's really visualize it. Let's believe it. Let's write it down. Let's understand that yes, life has detours. It has detours, but you will get to your destination. I am going to have to listen to this, y'all. I am, because it is my birthday. And these are the things that I want. These are the things that I want for my life. I want health. I want God. I need Him. Before anything, I need Him to control this narrative. I need Him to control it. I told Him that moving forward, I am not making any more decisions without Him because I've done it and it hasn't worked out for me. So we gonna include you, and I know He gonna do what He want, and He gonna do what He want because you know He likes to flex, but it's okay. We're just gonna follow along. We're gonna follow along and trust and believe that everything is happening for a purpose. And I want you guys to think about that. What are some projections in your life? What are some things that you want? Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever questioned, like, am I ever gonna be successful? Am I ever going to be in love? Am I ever going to, reach this milestone? Am I ever going to do it? Like, y'all, time is moving by so fast. I cannot even believe that we are halfway through the year. Really? Really? So I don't want to waste any more time kind of sulking into the idea of what I don't have. I really want to dive into what I do have. And there are some things that I still need to work on, and I am working on it and I'm acknowledging that. But overall, I have to say I am extremely blessed. I'm so happy that I have the opportunity to talk to you guys in the way that I'm talking to you guys right now. I know that somebody's going to gain something from this episode. And when I tell you guys, I was considering not doing an episode because it's my birthday. And that something told me, no, this message, it has to come out. It has to come out because some people, like on YouTube, there's so many videos of I don't celebrate my birthday, it's overrated, people are disappointments, and I get it, I get it. But it's like, no, you should still do something for yourself, even if it's for yourself, by yourself. You need to do something. You need to celebrate you. This is the one big day, right? Because it's your birthday that you have to celebrate you. But my thing is, you shouldn't have to wait for your birthday to only celebrate you. You should be celebrating yourself as many times, I don't care how big or small, all the time. All the time. So I challenge you for your birthday or just because. Think about your reflections. Sit there and be present. You can't reflect if you're in a loud place and you're on your Instagram and Facebook and Threads and Twitter and all the thousands of other social media apps. There's no way for you to reflect in a space like that. Really sit down and ponder. Go to the park, go outside, maybe a spot in your room, put some nice music on if you need to, but really think about it. And I do encourage you to journal. Please, please, please pay attention to the STGG podcast because I am going to give some tips on journaling. And I have so, oh my God, I have so many great episodes coming up. I can't contain it. Like I was really about to tell y'all, but I'm like, nah, let me wait. Also, guys, check out the blog. If you are waiting for your plane, if you're home, you're tired of scrolling, check out the blog. It is so good. This is where I give more behind the scenes of why I do what I do and more into the topics of what I'm talking about. So please check out the blog on SAVETHEGOODGIRL.com and check out me on social media, boo. I'm lit. And we're in luxury. We're in luxury. So I want you guys to think about your reflections, your lessons, and your projections. What do you want for your life? Do you believe you can still get it? I'm working on believing that I can still get everything that I've ever wanted. And I want you to really challenge yourself to do the same because you can and you absolutely will. Now, this is a birthday gift that you couldn't even wrap if you wanted to. I really hope that you enjoyed this wonderful episode of a birthday gift. And I want to say happy birthday to you, boo. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to me. Whenever your birthday is, happy, beautiful, amazing, healthy, and successful birthday. And as always, I want to know what you think. I want to know if there's something that stood out to you. I want to know if there's something that you related to. I want to know how you feel. And I want you to consider how amazing you are. And I want you to tell me. So you can reach out to me on SaveTheGoodGirl.com or on social media. Boo, holla at me. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I am on Pinterest. I am on Twitter. I am on TikTok and recently added Threads. So follow Save the Good Girl. Stay connected. Instagram is so much fun. I do a lot of stories on there. So you guys can check me out and on Facebook because it transfers over. So hit me up on all of the social media apps. I would love to hear from you. And I want you on your birthday or any day, it doesn't have to be your birthday, but I want you to consider what are some reflections that you've had so far this year? What are some lessons that you've learned that you're going to take with you and maybe even share with others? And what are some projections you want for your life? Do you believe that you can still have the life that you want? And if you do, we have to visualize it. We have to write. We need to do this together because remember, I didn't do mine yet. So I need to do that as well. And I want you to really think about that and ponder and think about all the amazing things that has happened, even through trials and tribulations, even through going through a rough year. There's always something to really ponder and really be grateful for. And I want us to really focus on that. And I got to celebrate my birthday, boo. It is my birthday today, so I need to go. But I did want to leave you with this quote. Today is a new day and a new beginning. I am thankful for all that I have been given. The more you praise and celebrate your life, the more there is in life to celebrate. So, boo, celebrate. Acknowledge how amazing you are. You got this, and there's so much more to come. What's next for us? We don't know, but we know it's going to be amazing. I'll talk to you next week, boo. Stay tuned for the Save the Good Girl podcast. Happy birthday. Woo! All right, stop screaming. Bye.